Today I'm going to share all the resources you need as a real estate agent to be successful. Let's get into it. Hello ladies and gentlemen, as you know, my name is Aram. I'm a real estate agent here in the Chicagoland area. It's been a while since I've been in front of the camera like this, but I have a very good video for you all today. We are talking about all the resources, the tools that I use as a real estate agent to help me with my career. I've actually listed them out right here because I have made this video in the past, forgotten to mention a couple of things, and then deleted the damn footage, right? So I have 10 things on my list right here. I'm gonna go through them with you one by one, and this is extremely practical. No mindset nonsense, none of that. It's just all practical stuff that you're gonna need. We're talking taxes, we're talking marketing, we're talking keeping track of things, all that. We're gonna get right into it, and if you enjoy the content, please just take 1 second. Hit that like button. Leave your comments below with what tools you use, what resources you have found to be beneficial to you. Maybe I can use them as well. And then, of course, if you're a real estate agent or a consumer, you're curious about the industry, follow my page by subscribing, and I make content like this twice a week. Okay, so step number one, I have email/database. So this is like your CRM, right? For me personally, I use something called Aweber, which is it's nothing other than just sending out mass emails, right? Being able to send out mass emails like drip campaigns, things along those lines, right? Now, I write my own emails, and Aweber, it gives me that opportunity. Instead of having to use like a canned response that the CRMs have, you actually can go in and make your own weekly email, which is what I have, and then send it out to all your clients. So that's essentially where I keep my entire database. Some agents recommend using a CRM, which reminds you to call people back, this, and the other. Fantastic. I don't use it, but you need something to put your database in and consistently stay in touch with them. Whether if you're not going to send emails, you want to do phone calls every quarter, maybe CRM is the way to go for you. Second thing I have is RedX. I only put RedX because that's what I use for all my phone numbers. You guys ask me this all the time. So if you ever send me a DM asking me where I get my phone numbers, I'm going to link you to this video, so leave a comment below if that's what happened. So RedX is where I get all my phone numbers from. Expired, for sale by owners. GeoLeads, which is just literally random people. You could do for rent by owners. You could do pre-foreclosures. Any number you need, RedX is going to be able to get it to you. Now, there's other sources out there. You don't have to use RedX because sometimes RedX is not the best source depending on the region you're in. Like for me, I tried Mojo, not so successful, and RedX seems to be working better, right? In other areas, there's like Land Voice, I think, or then there's Vulcan 7, but they're a little bit expensive nonetheless. So that's what I use. That's also what I use for my dialer. Dialer is huge. If you're going to be prospecting over the phones, you need a dialer, folks. Trust me, it's going to save you a lot of time. Whereas before, it's going to take you 8 hours to do a 3-hour job. Now it only takes you 3 hours. So you can either do more than you thought possible, or not get burnt out and go on with the rest of your day. Maybe add some other layers to your business. Number 3, this is missed so many times. You need a reliable computer. Oftentimes, you're going to be meeting with your clients. You're going to have to pull out your laptop. If you pull out this dinosaur, you're not really inspiring confidence in your clients if your computer's falling apart. Because as a real estate agent, if you can't afford a decent computer, how are you in business? I would invest, whether you got to put on payments, whatever you got to do, invest in a very reliable computer. I personally have a MacBook Air. I love it. It's light, it's easy to use, and yeah, it's pretty cool. That's what I use. Now, number 4, this is something you wouldn't know about unless you're a real estate agent, which is DocuSign. It's one of my favorite inventions ever. It's basically an e-signature platform, but on top of that, it's a place where you can actually house all your documents. That part of the section is called Transaction Room, and most brokerages you work with will offer that nowadays. Like for example, DocuSign is not something I pay for, it's my brokerage pays for that. So when you as a real estate agent are trying to figure out what brokerage to go to, these are some things you need to know. Hey, are you paying for my DocuSign, or am I gonna have to pay this? I think it's $300 a year, or whatever the case is. So ask for that because it's huge. It makes sending contracts, getting initials, all this, a breeze, okay? If I had to get things hand signed, or wait for a client to print it, sign it, and scan it back to me, it would take forever to send offers. So DocuSign, huge. Now, this one is for tax purposes. I use this app called Self-Employed QuickBooks, or I think it's QuickBooks self-employed. There's a couple of things for me. Number one, it tracks all my spending, so I can kind of decide what's a deduction and what's not a deduction. It's simply by swiping, right? I set up the cards that I use for my business, and then they keep track of all the expenses, all the money I've spent, all the money coming in, and I get to, put it all away. So it makes doing my taxes at the end of the year a lot easier. It also tracks your mileage, so you don't have to guesstimate, you don't have to hang on to your gas receipts or whatever. Actually, you might have to still, whatever. But it tracks your miles, so you can, at the end of the year, you can use that as write-off as well. So huge. It's $5 a month, worth every penny. I actually forget that I pay it. Number 6 is an app called Showing Time. If you're not a real estate agent yet, you probably never heard of it. Once you become a real estate agent, every region has this version of of some kind of an app. I think Showing Time is pretty much national, so everyone's going to be using the same app. It is phenomenal. First year and a half, I didn't know the app existed, so I had everything printed out. I had to write down the addresses. It was a disaster. But with the app, when you schedule showings, it actually puts it in the order that you scheduled them. All you have to do is tap, go to directions, it automatically puts in your map. It just makes life easier, and it's much more of a smoother transition. Okay, so Showing Time, it's an app. If you're an agent, get it. On top of that, let me do an honorable mention for the SentryLock app. When I got into business, we still had these little cards. This was like 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago. You had to put the card, first you had to renew the card every day if you wanted to use it. You had to put the card into the SentryLock box. It's a lock box where you have to put in the code. In California, I think you have a Supra. And then that's how you get in. But now, I just use the app, it scans my face, and then it unlocks the SentryLock right away. Lockbox. I'm just going to call it a lockbox. Number 7, this is something new I just got. It's a Google Voice number. When I'm prospecting, I like to call from the Google Voice number because you never know what kind of an idiot you're going to call or a psychopath. Sometimes you don't want them to have your personal cell phone number. Besides, if they call you back, it's going to get redirected to your cell phone, so you're still picking it up. So you're not really missing out on much. Highly recommend you get a Google Voice number. Number 8, this is for me personally because I suck at writing. Grammarly. Wow, okay? Because oftentimes people are going to judge you. If you send an email and it's, the grammar isn't right, somebody might judge you. So just to be on the safe side, I have Grammarly on my, I think it's Safari or whatever, so it corrects all my grammatical errors. So that's huge. Number 9, this is more for your safety. It's called Forewarn. As real estate agents, we have access to this app for free. It's basically an app where you put in anyone's cell phone number and you get the entire history, whether they've claimed bankruptcy, they have any evictions, if they even have a speeding ticket, what cars they drive, what address they live in. So oftentimes, if I cold call somebody, right, and I'll maybe double check their address by putting the cell phone number in this app just to make sure I'm sending things to the right place. So it's very helpful and definitely comes in handy, especially if you want to make sure your clients are legit and they're not selling you on some BS. And then number 10, I mean, this one is obvious, folks. Social media, get on it, use it as a tool. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I'm on LinkedIn, and I'm on TikTok. I mostly use Instagram, to be honest with you. I hope this video was helpful. I try to keep it very, very practical. Everything here, you can get the app, use it. It's just simply gonna make your life easier. That's the name of the game, ladies and gentlemen. Now, if you enjoyed this video, I'm gonna ask you one more time. Hit that like button, leave your comments below. What's your favorite of the 10 I just named? What is your favorite tool or resource that you like to use? What did I miss? Let me know, and then subscribe to the channel if you want to follow the journey of a young real estate agent trying to make it to the mountain peak. I made a bunch of mistakes, but as I get older, I get wiser, I learn from them, and then we move forward step by step. So this year, my goal is to hit 100K in income. We're kind of on track. The coronavirus, steered us back a little bit, but we're back in business. We're about to have back-to-back 5-figure months, so I'm excited. Nonetheless, thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.